Whenever I'm feeling nervous to put myself out there or make a video or go live on Facebook or go live on Instagram or pitch the media or have a conversation with somebody or reach out to someone, I just remember these 4 letters, HOPE. They stand for help one person every day. Help one person every day. Because guess what? The only reason that I'm nervous to put myself out there is because I'm not thinking about other people. I'm thinking about myself. I'm worried about what I look like, what I sound like, if I'm good enough. So the key is to remember that one person that's on the other side of the phone or the other side of the publication or the other side of the iPad or the computer or the YouTube video, whatever, the person that's getting that information. Think about that one person and talk to them.
What if today was the day that you dared yourself to do what you've always wanted? Welcome to the I Dare You podcast. I'm your host, Jen Gottlieb, and together we're going to step outside of our comfort zones and into our best lives, one dare at a time. So come on, I dare you to dive right on in.
Hey fam, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the I Dare You podcast. I'm so excited to be back here, and I'm sitting here in my closet with a new family member right now. I just got a new puppy a couple weeks ago. If you've been following along on Instagram, you'll see his cute little Chewbacca face. His name is Arthur, short for King Arthur, and he's a Brussels Griffon puppy. I've wanted a Brussels Griffon since forever. Since I saw the movie As Good as It Gets and I saw the little dog in that movie, I was like, oh my God, I have to have a dog like that. So we recently welcomed little King Arthur to our family on Halloween, and he's sitting here on my lap, and I am not going to lie, this little guy is a handful. He's a handful. So next time you think about getting a puppy, just like think twice. Like, do you really have time to clean up pee and poo all day long and watch a little animal so that he doesn't chew all the things in your home all day long? So that's like a little, like, yes, he's super cute and we love him so much, but I have to say my life is now, it's like pre-Arthur and post-Arthur, 2 different lives that I live. But anyways, that's what's going on in my life. And I'm really excited about this podcast because today we're going to be talking all about visibility and being seen. And this episode is specifically for those of you out there that have a service, a story, or a product that you feel like is the best kept secret. Meaning you're doing a lot of amazing things out there in the world, but not many people know about it. And maybe not many people know about it because either you're scared to make videos and get on social media and talk about what you do for whatever reason, or you just don't know how to put yourself out there and start being seen. You don't know how to talk about what you do. You don't know the first thing, and you've got analysis paralysis, and you've just got so many different options and cooks in the kitchen and people telling you what to do, and you just aren't doing it. Or the most common theme that I'm seeing around entrepreneurs, business owners, thought leaders, experts, or like I said, people that feel like they're the best kept secret I have, is that they just are scared shitless to be imperfect or get rejected or say the wrong thing or put out a piece of content that nobody likes or be judged by people in their life. And I hear you. I feel you. That's me. All the time I have those fears. I'm sitting here in the closet recording this podcast for you and feeling those fears, feeling like, oh, maybe this podcast won't be that great. Maybe people won't get a lot of value out of it. Or, every day I have them. And so I've said this a lot. If you've been listening to the past episodes, that fear of being judged or that fear of what other people will think of you, unfortunately, is like a human condition. It's not really going to go away, but it can lessen. It can definitely lessen, and you can grow more confident and you can care less. And that's what this whole thing is about. This podcast really is giving you dares and dares of the day so that you can practice being uncomfortable and practice doing things and getting to the other side and realizing that, oh, I didn't die when I did that. Nobody really cared as much as I thought. I didn't get rejected, or maybe I did and it didn't hurt that bad and it wasn't that bad. And you know what? A lot of growth came on the other side of it. And the more that we can do it and realize that it actually all is for us, and the more that we can be seen and be visible and take chances and take risks and put ourselves out there and realize that it's only for the good in every single sense of the word good, and I'm going to explain that later, then the more that we're going to do it. If you don't know about my company, Super Connector Media, that's what our entire company is built on: being seen, helping entrepreneurs, business owners, thought leaders, authors, speakers be visible, create personal brands, get in the media, create credibility and influence and authority so they can impact more lives. And what we say every single day to our mastermind members on the regular, and what I say every single time I get on a stage and speak in front of thought leaders and business owners who feel like they're the best kept secret, is I say, the visibility is your responsibility. It is. Because the only reason that you're not being seen is because you're worried about you. And being seen isn't about you. Being seen is about the people that are seeing you, the people that you're helping, because you're making yourself visible. Because every single day that goes by that you're not doing everything that you can to make yourself visible to the people that you can help is another day that those people are going to go buy from someone else or listen to someone else or follow someone else that isn't as good as you and doesn't care as much as you, simply because you're too insecure or scared or whatever in your head about putting yourself out there. So it's your responsibility to be seen. And if you're not being seen because you care too much about what other people think, you're being selfish. If you're listening to this and you know in your heart that you have a gift that you can give people, and you know what you do helps people, or you know your story helps people, and you're not putting it out there, then you're being selfish. And you may be thinking like, okay, Jen, I get it. I know. Gosh, how do I get over this fear of actually pressing go live or actually making the video or doing the podcast or writing the post or pitching the media? How do I do it? How do I press go? How do I just start? And that's the question that I got so many times over and over again at my last speaking engagement. I was just in Las Vegas at a event for real estate investors. I get to speak to a lot of real estate investors. I'm really blessed that I know a lot of really influential people in that space, and they ask me to speak at their events to teach the other real estate investors how to build personal brands and how to be visible. And some of these real estate guys and women are some of the most successful people in the world, literally, when it comes to real estate. And I get scared and intimidated before I take the stage, for sure, because of all of the powerful, amazing people in the room that are watching. And I really want to bring value. And I have to do a lot of things to pump myself up to get on that stage and to bring the value. And I'm going to teach you those things that I do in this episode. But what I want to tell you here in this section is that when I get off these stages at these events, the number one thing that people come up to me and say to me is, Jen, I know I need to put myself out there, and I'm just scared. I'm scared, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm waiting till it's perfect. And I have all of these videos that I've made of myself, but I'm not posting them because I feel like they're not good enough. I feel like I look bad. I feel like I sound bad. I feel like I'm kind of like an imposter, and people aren't going to think that I'm the real deal. So I just don't post anything. And I always say to them the same thing. I'm like, are you good at what you do? And they always say, yeah, I know I'm good at what I do. And I say, if you shared a video about one of your strategies with the world, would it help people? And they always say the same thing. Yes, it would help people. Then I say, oh my gosh, it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to post that video, to write that paper, to pitch the media your idea so you can get on TV and so somebody can get that information. Whenever I'm feeling nervous to put myself out there or make a video or go live on Facebook or go live on Instagram or pitch the media or have a conversation with somebody or reach out to someone, I just remember these 4 letters, HOPE. They stand for help one person every day. Help one person every day. Because guess what? The only reason that I'm nervous to put myself out there is because I'm not thinking about other people. I'm thinking about myself. I'm worried about what I look like, what I sound like, if I'm good enough. So the key is to remember that one person that's on the other side of the phone or the other side of the publication or the other side of the iPad or the computer or the YouTube video, whatever, the person that's getting that information. Think about that one person and talk to them. So when I do speaking engagements, I actually think about one person in the audience and I literally just talk to that one person. I look at all the people, but I'm visualizing talking to one person, because talking to one person and thinking about helping that one person and the value that they're going to get out of my talk or whatever I'm doing in that moment takes my ego out of it, because it's not about me anymore. It's about the conversation I'm having with that one person and helping them. And I often think back to when I was starting my business and I needed help and I needed other people to make themselves visible to me so that I could get their guidance via the internet, via podcasts, via mainstream media, via YouTube, right? Back in the day, I used to, when I was an actress and I was thinking about transitioning out of acting and building my own business, I would walk around New York City listening to podcasts. And if those podcast hosts, those people that created those podcasts, some of them are my dear friends now, people like Lori Harder and Lewis Howes, if they didn't decide to make themselves visible at that time, if they didn't decide to get out of their own way and start producing content and being seen, even though they were scared, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I thank God they did. So if you're still here with me right now and you're thinking, my gosh, Jen, you're so right. I need to make myself visible. I need to start putting myself out there, but I need some tips. I need some tools. I got you. I'm going to give you a couple confidence boosting tips that are going to help you take that first action step. That's going to make it a lot easier the next time you do it, and the next time you do it, and the next time you do it. You just got to do it with fear in the passenger seat of the car the first time, or the second time and the third. Like those first couple of times are the really, really, really important times to do it. And then you realize that it's not that bad. And then your subconscious remembers that, okay, when I do this, I don't die, nothing horrible happens. I get to the other side and I feel really good about myself. So I just want to get you to that first action step. I want to get you to that time where you can actually press record or press post and do the damn thing. So here are a couple tips that I have for you when it comes to being a little bit more confident in being visible. Let's put this into the context of going live on social media. I find that going live on social is a really, really powerful way to connect with your audience and get your message across and practice being on camera and being a little bit uncomfortable. So something that I do every day now is I do Get Ready With Me live on Instagram. If you haven't chimed in or you haven't joined us for Get Ready With Me, I do it around 9:30 or 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern every single day. And I prop up my camera and I press go live, and I am completely makeup free, and I do my makeup and I talk to my followers, and we have great conversations and I answer questions. Sometimes we get 12 people on there. Sometimes we get hundreds of people on there. And that's not what it's about for me. It's about two things. Number one, it's about doing something that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable in the morning. Because let's be real, going live and doing my makeup and barefaced to start with my zits and everything showing, and actually showing the process and talking to people is really scary and really vulnerable. I don't have a script. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I do it anyway. You know, that's practice being on camera and practice being uncomfortable. And when I first started doing it, it was really hard. But now that I've been doing it every day, I've proven that to myself that I can stick with my commitments, which makes me feel really good about myself. I've built a much bigger following and audience from this. I've gotten lots of clients and mastermind members and people that have joined our challenges and our events and things like that, and connected with people, and I've helped people. And now I feel a lot more confident doing it. So now it's become a regular thing that I do, but I would have never been able to start if I didn't just start scared. And so let's use the example of going live for you when I teach these different tools that you can use to just start being seen and start being visible. So the first thing that I do when I'm going live and I'm nervous and I'm scared and I don't want to do it is sometimes I'll take a little photo of a friend or Chris or somebody in my life that I'm really comfortable with, and I'll put it right next to the camera. So that way, instead of thinking about talking to a screen, which is really not realistic and weird and strange and uncomfortable, I'm thinking about talking to someone that I love. Because let's be honest, we don't get nervous when we're talking to somebody that we love, when we're just sitting down having coffee with our partner or our best friend or a client that we're really comfortable around. We don't get nervous. The words just flow. We know exactly what to say. We don't think about it. We're not scared. We don't get butterflies. Well, maybe there's certain occasions when you get butterflies when you're talking to somebody that you really like or whatever, but you know what I mean. You're pretty confident. So I put a little photo of somebody that I love right next to the camera, and I just start talking to that person. I envision that person is the camera, and I talk to them like we would have a regular conversation. That really gets me out of my own way because I stop thinking about all the hundreds of people I'm talking to or the weird little black box I'm looking at. And I think about talking to a human. And that also helps my words to come out way more clearly and way more just authentically, just like it's me talking to a friend. That's my first tip. My second tip would be to know your secret. This is a tip that I learned back when I was an actress, when I was auditioning all the time. One of my acting teachers said to me, before you go into an audition, I want you to think of a secret that you know that nobody else knows. What happens when you do that is you feel incredibly empowered because you know something that nobody else knows. Maybe it's a dirty secret. Maybe it's a funny secret. Maybe it's a secret that doesn't really matter that much, but it's just something that you know that none of the world knows. And what that does is it changes the way you come off. It changes your your mannerisms. When you know a secret and nobody else does, like you go from kind of looking dead-faced and not too interested or interesting to, wow, I want to know what she knows. So before I go live, I'll think of a secret that I know that nobody else knows. And then suddenly my face just looks more interesting, right? Because I've got more behind my eyes. I've got more things going on in my brain. And it gives me something to think about that I know that nobody else knows, that empowers me to be in control of the situation. A big reason why we're scared to go live is we feel like we don't have any control over the situation. It's just scary, like that people are looking at you and people are judging you. But if you're like, I know something that nobody else knows, and I'm going to hold this close to me, and I'm going to go live knowing this secret the entire time, and maybe at the end I'll let people in on it, but I'm really in control right now and I've got the power, helps every time. Okay, so your first tip is to put a little photo of somebody that you love, someone you're super comfortable with, right near the camera. Your second tip is to know your secret. And your third tip is actually a very tactical thing that you can do. It's very, very simple, actually. It's calling a friend or someone you love and asking them to go watch your live and to support you and be up in the comments. I am telling you, this helps me so much. Whenever I see my friends pop into my lives, or if when I was first starting out, I would strategically ask Chris, hey, I'm going to go live. Could you go be in the comments and just like cheer me on? It helps so much because you feel supported, you feel taken care of, and you feel like your friend is legitimately there and you're just talking to them. It helps you to exhale. It helps you to feel more confident. Connection is one of the C's of the confidence continuum, which is something that I teach. It's going to be in my book. I teach it in the mastermind. And connection makes everything easier. Not just a connection to other people, but connection to yourself, connection to your future self. When you feel connected to something, a higher power, to your real self, to your future self, to other human beings that maybe are just in your Instagram live supporting you and cheering you on, and you see them there and they're like, yay, I love you, yay, let's go, you got this. You feel more confident. So call a friend, text a friend, someone that you love, be like, hey, I'm about to go live on social media. I don't know if anybody's going to show up, but could you just be in there and support me and just comment and like cheer me on? I'm sure you have so many people in your life that would be happy to do that. And if you don't, DM me at Jen_Gottlieb, and maybe I'll be able to go on and help you out there. And, you know, it really is like, this journey is about building your squad, building your community up to, so that you have lots of people in your life that are willing to help you and support you when you go to do things like that. That's what our mastermind is all about, the Super Connector Mastermind. By the way, if you're ever interested in getting mentorship from me and my fiance, Chris, we do have a mastermind called the Super Connector Mastermind. It's an unbelievable community for business owners and thought leaders, authors, speakers, anybody with a service, a story, or a product that wants to get themselves out there and build a profitable business. We mentor you for the full year with a huge group of amazing humans, and they all support each other in their ventures to become more successful. So you can always reach out to me about that. But yeah, that's my podcast for you today. That's the episode. Really, at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to be seen. It is your responsibility. If you have something that you know that can help people, whether that is a story or a service that you offer or a product that you've created, get out there and make it known, because you never know who you're going to help with that story, service, or product. So if you're too scared right now to be able to put yourself out there, or you're worried that it's not perfect enough, what I want you to do today, your dare, is to dare yourself to just do it anyway. And I want you to use the tips that I gave you. Okay. You're going to look at that camera and you're going to envision that it's a friend, put a little photo of a friend behind it. And then you are going to know your secret. And then you're going to call a friend and have them be on that live, or support you, or call you when you're done if it's just a recorded video, or, you know, have them hold you accountable and cheer you on while you do it. I promise you, the more that you do it, the easier that it will get. And if you want to learn more about being seen and being visible and actual tactical strategies that you can use, you can always send me a message and I can tell you what event we have going on where you can attend and learn more about being seen. And of course, I'll give you information about how to join our mastermind as well. So that's my episode for you today. I'm so glad that you joined me. I can't wait to see your lives and your videos and your stories. And when you do them, please tag me, because I want to see. All right. Love you so much, fam. And I will see you next time on the I Dare You podcast.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the I Dare You podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me, but I'm even more grateful for your future self, that you are building one dare at a time. So my first dare for you is to subscribe to the show and then share it with a friend who you think needs to step a little bit more outside their comfort zone and into their best lives. They'll thank you for it. I'll see you next time on the I Dare You podcast.